question on the order paper, which is in the name of Tony Arbour, on MOPEC payments to ACPO.
Yes. Tony, thank you for this. I'm slightly worried that, Tony, because normally you and I are absolutely ad item on every issue before us, but I'm slightly worried that you sort of taken against ACPO in a big way. And my view is whatever criticisms you may make of it, it is a very good way of bringing together expertise amongst our police forces in this country, and they discuss interoperability, ballistics, intelligence. They coordinate on crime information, all sorts of things that, frankly, police forces need to do in concert. If this body didn't exist, I'm afraid you would need to invent it. So I'm reluctant, avid cost cutter though I am, I'm reluctant to cease our payments to it.
Well, I'm astonished that you should be singing the praises of ACPO. Any study of ACPO's budget, and ACPO, of course, is a private company. It's not democratically accountable to anybody. Let me give you a couple of examples of the things that they spend money on. A lot of it comes from your ratepayers, because, as I say in my question, you've already given them $605,000 this year. This year, in the first 7 months, the cost of drivers for chief officers of ACPO, of whom there are only 40-odd, of course, chief constables, was £536,676.
Drivers.
The cost of the cars was £269,567.
That is outrageous, I have to admit.
Well, I got this.
But that's for the whole country, isn't it?
Yeah, but you gave them, Mr. Mayor, 605,000. You are accountable. You gave money to this unaccountable organisation which spends money in the most extravagant way. ACPO officers receive extremely high salaries, almost as much as the Commissioner, Sir Hugh Orde. Sir Hugh Orde is a man who, because he's not democratically accountable, has the nerve to criticise the government. Sir Hugh Orde, who you have funded, criticised the government.
Well, hang on. I fund plenty of people who criticise the government. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. It's a democracy.
Well, this man is an official. He is funded publicly. He's not answerable to anybody, and he comes along and he says he doesn't actually like police policy. You've told
he doesn't like police policy.
You've told me just now that if ACPO didn't exist, it would have to be invented. I'm not sure that I would want to invent a club, a fat cat club, which provides private accommodation to its members, which provides drivers and cars to its members.
Well, no, I'm with you on this one. I'm with you on this one, Tony. Can I undertake?
Progress.
Can I undertake, having listened to your strictures, to come back to you with further and better particulars about exactly what we are subsidising in ACPO. If it is true that we are, that the taxpayers of London are really just bunging them dosh to go around in swish limos, and that's it, then we will have a serious hard look at it. Because I do oppose that. I think it's pointless. By the way, I think there are far too many public officials riding in cars at the moment already. I think the government, the whole of Whitehall, are creeping back into their cars. They should be out of their cars and on the tube. Liberal Democrat ministers included, by the way.
Yes. Whilst
and it is an utter disgrace. How can we ask these people? How can we ask these people to support investments in the tube and in mass transit in our city when they are allowed by government to what's the word I want? I'm going to use it. What's that?
They're avoiding public transport.
They're avoiding public. Well, I don't know if they're avoiding public. They should be on public transport, and they should be out of their cars. It would help reduce congestion, apart from anything else.
Well, so you're beginning to see that this organisation is an anachronism. Can I say which?
Well, don't go as far as that.
Can I say that the thing which particularly will stick in the craw of ordinary police officers not just in the MPS, but up and down the country, they are facing very considerable pressure on their funding. We've just heard a debate on suggestions that somehow or another the Borough of Enfield is being squeezed police officers. If I was a resident of Enfield, indeed if I was Joanne McCartney, I would be saying, why isn't a lot of this money which is being given to ACPO for people to earn six-figure salaries, for them to have this lavish accommodation and all of the other things I've spelled out? Don't you really think that you should be?
Can I just make one elementary point, which is, and I hear what you say about car, but if you look at what's happening with the structure of the MPS anyway, the Metropolitan Police, what we're doing, as Joanne and everybody knows full well, as I said it last month, is we are actually shrinking the top of the pyramid, and we're reducing the number of ACPO rank officers considerably in the Met, and indeed we're reducing the number of officers holding rank above sergeant. And in order to expand the number of police constables to 26,000, the biggest in the history of the Metropolitan Police Force, we are reducing the number of chiefs in favour of more Indians. That is the way forward for the police force.
Well, of course it is, but you have this reduced number of chiefs, but that reduced number of chiefs who are eligible to be members of ACPO are having the opportunity to use these luxurious apartments to be driven in these luxurious motor cars and then have the gall to attack the government. Hugh Ord, you know,
I think they're entitled to attack the government.
Yes,
I don't mind. I mean, look, I think attacking the government is their job.
No, Mr. Mayor, it isn't. You told us that their job was to provide a sort of coordination function and to give advice to the government. If the advice to the government was as Sir Hugh Ord did when he said he would resign if the government established elected police commissioners, funny he hasn't gone. Maybe he likes his salary in excess of £200,000 for running ACPO.
I think you're on stronger ground when you criticise the use of that money for perks and travelling around in swish cars and so on. We will look at that, Tony, and if there is some corresponding reduction that we can make in our support that would reduce their dependence on taxpayer-funded limos, then we'll certainly do that.
Well, I'll end it there, Mr. Mayor. I've lifted the stone, and hopefully you'll look under it.
We will.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next question.